All right, so we're here for day one of the self-storage SEO Masterclass. In this video series, this is going to be a five-part video series where we break down the exact tactics we use to improve organic search for self-storage facilities all across the US. This is going to be really important because this training is going to allow you to take control of your marketing and take this back in-house, which is going to save you thousands of dollars over the years. And it's going to give you the skill set to be able to do this. And as you grow and scale your business, you're going to be able to hire more effectively because you're going to have a deeper understanding of how SEO works and how you can use it for your facility. So in this five-part series, we're going to cover everything you need to know to maximize SEO. So this day one here, we're going to go over keyword research. And again, this is going to set the foundation for everything you do going forward. It's important to understand how to identify keywords and figure out the best keywords to target. So we're going to uncover that in this video. And then we're also going to cover local SEO strategies on day two. This is going to be how you optimize for the map listings. On day three, we're going to get into more content optimization techniques. Then on day four, we're going to learn how to build backlinks effectively. And then day five, we're going to wrap everything up with how to analyze performance and make adjustments based on what the data is telling you. So these 5 days are going to give you everything you need to know to do SEO and actually start getting more customers for your facility. Again, customer acquisition is the most important thing when running a business, and particularly self-storage. It's hard to differentiate your self-storage facility, but having a good tenant acquisition system is going to allow you to separate from some of the competitors. So let's dive into the training. So we've covered this in the past, but I'm just going to recap why SEO matters again for self-storage. SEO should be your biggest source of revenue and new tenants. Really, this channel is highly effective because users are actively searching for self-storage facilities in your area. And if you're able to show up at the top of Google, you're going to capture that customer as they're doing research on facilities in their area. So this should be one of your, if not your biggest primary lead source for new tenants. And SEO typically is going to have your best ROI, even above paid ads. Paid ads are quicker because you can immediately turn those on and get results. But because with paid ads on Google, you're paying for every single click, the costs can be prohibitive in some markets. So SEO allows you to get traffic without having to pay for each click. Now there is investment. It's either going to be time or money in terms of bringing in a vendor or a consultant to help you. But in this course, we're going to teach you everything you need to know how to do this yourself. So before we dive into keyword research techniques, it's important to understand all of the different aspects of the search results. So when a lot of people think of SEO, they think it's just one thing. You just show up on Google on the first page, but there's actually 5 different areas that you can show up on Google. And this is something that most storage facility operators don't realize. There's 5 different tactics we need to do if we want to maximize our visibility. In this course, we're going to be focusing a lot on number 3 and 4. But a lot of the keyword research techniques we're going to identify are also going to help with the first 2 and even the last one. So I'm going to pull up a search result so we can take a look at these 5 aspects. So if we go to Google and type in storage units in, you could do this in any city. The first thing you're going to see are the Google text ads. So these are paid ads that are pay per click. So anybody that clicks on any of these listings, this storage facility will get charged a certain amount of money per click. And that could range very wildly. Could be as low as $1, it could be up to $30. Could even be more in some markets. But that's going to vary on a lot of factors. The next thing you'll see is the map listing. Now in this particular search result, I don't see an ad. These 3 are organic, but if I click into more places, you'll see these 2 are sponsored. So these are also paid ads. Quite often, the first listing here is also a paid ad. So now you would have Google text ads, and then you would see map ads. And then the next thing we'll see here is organic map listings. So this is typically targeted through local SEO, which we're going to cover on day 2. So as I scroll past that, this is where I now get to the traditional organic results. Now 4 and 5 are kind of the same thing, but the reason they're different is we can have our own website show up in traditional organic results, and we can also show up on aggregator and directory websites like Sparefoot or Rent Cafe to also get visibility. If I look at this search result, we'll see there's a aggregator directory website, then there's a brand, then we have 2 more aggregator websites, another one, and then we have some brands here, and then Rent Cafe again. So you'll see If we're able to get our website to rank here and also get featured on these directory websites, we can have essentially 4 different listings right here where it's our brand. And then when someone clicks through into something like this, ideally, if we're listed here, we'll also show up here. So it's a secondary way that we can get discovered. Then we'll also potentially show up in the map listings with an ad and then with a text ad. That's really how you can maximize your visibility. So knowing all these different aspects, it's just important to understand how the search results work. It's not just what it used to be, where it was just these links just like this. There's a lot more features and ads available on the first page. This is also worth noting. These people also ask questions. If you click on this, you'll see different websites are actually the source of the answer. So this is another thing you could potentially target. Typically through blog content on your website, we can answer some of these questions, like how much does a storage unit cost? Is a 10 by 10 storage unit enough? You'll see this is pulling from public storage. Here it's getting how much is a storage unit in Rochester. It's a city in New York. So again, you could be the one that answers those and have another spot on the first page. So in terms of keyword research, I think the most important things to understand are going to be these here. So this is the process I use to identify keywords. The first thing is getting a familiarity with keyword research tools. Now there's a variety of keyword tools you can use. I'm going to show some good free and paid options. Once you have the tools identified, then we're really going to look for a few types of keywords. The first set is going to be local based keywords. And these are going to be keywords like self-storage in city, and you would swap in city for whatever city you're in. So any keyword that has a city appended to it is a local based keyword. Then we're going to look for feature based keywords. These are going to be things like climate controlled self-storage or 24/7 access or cheap self-storage if you want to go that route. Basically anything appended to the word self-storage that applies a user is asking for specific information about a feature or a set feature that they want. And you could combine these as well. So there's going to be local feature based as well. There's going to be climate controlled storage units in city as another example. Then we're going to get to question based. And those are going to be a lot of the things like these people also ask question boxes, where those keywords we're typically going to target with blog content. They're not as important as the first two groups, but they're still an important way to get traffic and just build out your website. And then finally, after we compile all the keyword data, we're going to create a keyword strategy and a keyword map that's going to outline the pages you're going to need to be able to target these keywords effectively. And then ultimately, we're going to actually make changes to the pages to optimize accordingly. So to start with keyword research tools, I've made a list here, and this is going to be available in the course here on the keyword research tools I like. So I wanted to give free options from Google that we can use without having to pay for any subscriptions. Then I did list out here some of the paid tools that I've used, and then a really good option here for paid tools as well. So the first 3 are all tools from Google. Google Keyword Planner is a tool Google made for Google Ads to do keyword research for your ad account. And you could sign up for a free ad account and you don't have to pay to actually run ads to get access to this tool. So this is a foundational tool that's worth using. You can get very far with just this tool alone, and you may never need a paid keyword tool. We're going to pull up that tool in a second. Google Search Console is another tool from Google that's completely free. This tool will have data on your existing website. So you set this up for your domain and your website, and it'll tell you all of the keywords you're showing up for on Google. So it's really valuable to get data on your existing keyword rankings. Then we're going to look at Google Trends. Now, Google Trends is not a traditional keyword research tool that I would recommend for understanding how many people search per month or the difficulty of a keyword, but it's a good way to gauge long-term trends. Sometimes you can use this in your due diligence process. If you're analyzing a market, you could check how storage is trending in that area over time. Is demand on search and on Google going up or down? So it's an important tool to add to your toolkit for SEO, but not going to be one of the primary ones we use for SEO. Then we're going to get into a company called AppSumo that basically sells lifetime deals to software. And this can be one of the most effective ways to get access to a paid keyword tool. Every month they have different tools available on this platform, and they're typically around $49. And the advantage is you just pay once. Instead of paying $100+ per month, like most SEO tools are going to cost, you can pay $49 one time and get access to a tool for life. So this is going to be the route I recommend if you're ready to move past some of the tools from Google and you want a third-party keyword tool. which can give you some additional data. That would be the route I would recommend. Paying for one of these more advanced tools, I think won't make sense for most storage facilities unless you have a lot of locations and you're really doing a lot of SEO in-house. These tools are best suited for agencies that are managing SEO for a variety of clients to truly get the most value out of these. So we'll cover these, but I think these aren't going to be central to what we do today. And finally, ChatGPT. It's an AI tool. As a keyword research tool, it's not the best, but you can ask questions and you could ask about keywords, and then you could take the information ChatGPT gives you and validate it inside of a true keyword tool. So it's another option that you can experiment with. But we'll start with Google Search Console and Google Trends, and then we'll go to Google Keyword Planner. So Google Search Console is a free tool here from Google that you can set up for your website. You just need to go to this URL that I have in the template, and then it'll have instructions on how you set this up. But it's going to give you really good data that you can use for SEO in general. What we're going to look at today is this performance report. So when I click here, this is going to show me all of the keywords my website shows up for on Google, and you'll see each keyword and how many clicks I'm getting. Impressions are how often I'm showing up, and then position is where I rank. So anything less than 10 means I'm on page 1. And what's pretty cool with this too, you can click on an individual keyword and then see the trends. And so here, average position, you can see I was ranking in position 6. Now I moved up to position 2. So it's a pretty powerful tool to understand where you're ranking and how much clicks you're getting for each keyword. Now, this is based on these traditional organic results. It doesn't take into account this here, the map listings, which your Google business account will have data on this map listing and how much traffic and leads you're getting here. But Google Search Console can uncover the data for these traditional organic listings. Now, Google Trends is another free tool from Google here. And what I can do is type in a keyword. So let's do Austin, Texas, and we'll click Explore. And this will give me some interesting reporting. Again, this is too specific. So we can do, if we just do self-storage, it's going to be broad, but let's do that. Now we can see interest in self-storage over time. The short-term time horizons aren't super interesting. I tend to do like this 5-year one is a pretty good one to look at. And we can see it's been pretty consistent in the US, not necessarily growing, not necessarily declining. You can get a little more specific here. So I can add a state. And then now I can see how self-storage is trending in that state. So there's a variety of ways. And then I could even see interest by certain areas within this state. So there's a lot of ways you can use this to gauge demand. But as far as uncovering keywords for your SEO, it's not going to be the main tool that I recommend. So Google Keyword Planner is probably going to be one of the better tools you can use, specifically because you don't have to pay for this tool and it's going to give you pretty much everything you need. The main way you're going to use this, you'll see when you log in, there's a few options. So Discover Keyword can give you ideas. So if I click on this, if you're not sure what to put in here, you could either enter in a certain website, so maybe one of your competitor websites or your website to try to get keywords. And we'll show an example of that. If we do, let's do this one here. So we'll go back to Keyword Planner, or you could enter in like self-storage in, and then whatever city. So you have a variety of ways you can do this. Let's do storage units. So we'll do this and this will run. And now this is gonna start to give us some ideas here. And you'll see in terms of metrics, it'll give us average monthly searches. And it gives us some data on, and you could hover over these to get some definitions on if the demand is growing. And then what's really valuable is this cost per click range. This is approximately what you would have to pay per each click if you were gonna run Google Ads. And it actually gives you options here to broaden your search. So I can click on storage units. I can click on a few different things to use this. My preferred method is actually this one, get search volume and forecast. And typically what I'll do, and you're gonna have access to this template here, where on the keyword ROI forecast here, it has examples of typical keywords. And what I like to do is copy these and paste all of these in. And the only thing you need to do is change the brackets here to your city. So let's do Austin, Texas here. So we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna change all these city names. And because the work here is done, these are like the common keywords that I see, and we're continually adding to this list. This is gonna give us all the search volume metrics and data for those keywords. And I'm gonna be able to, let's expand this so we show everything. And you could sort different ways. You can click on a few different things. Then what you could do is under location here is we can change this to actually be the market we want to analyze. So let's actually do Austin, Texas here and click save. And now it's going to filter these metrics based on the search volume and the cost per click in the market you want to analyze. So this tool is really valuable to start figuring out this data. And if you just take the list I've given you, there's not many more additional keywords you're going to need to research. But if you have other ideas for keywords, you can simply just edit and paste those in as well. And you can quickly check how many times each keyword is getting searched, what the change is over time, over the last 3 months and year over year. Competition level is more aimed at ads. So if it's high competition, it means a lot of people are running ads on these. It's not necessarily related to SEO. And then we can see the cost per click range. Now, cost per click, even though this is a Google Ads metric, it's nice to know for SEO, because if you're able to rank organically, instead of paying $25 for every time someone searches storage near me, you're getting those clicks for free. So that's where SEO becomes so scalable and profitable. Yes, there's work and time you have to put into it to make this happen. But once you're able to get onto the first page and get these clicks are worth a lot of money just on their own. So this is a great way to just gauge metrics and then what keywords are going to make sense for you to target. So now if we scroll down, we'll start to see all the different keywords, and we could see highest volume keywords are typically going to be near me based keywords. Then we have storage facility, self-storage Austin, storage unit Austin, all of our city based. Then we have keywords where they're not adding the city, but we know they're in the Austin area. And then we can start to see what common features. So RV, cheap storage, climate control, vehicle, mini storage, all the different types of storage that if you offer those could make sense to go after. So this is probably going to be the best way to identify keywords. And if you take this template we've already provided, this is going to get you very far, and you may not need to do much more keyword research than this. And then you could just do the same research for each market and each city that you're in. If you want to use the template to its full capacity, you could paste in the search volume and average cost per click numbers here for each keyword. So I'm just going to put in some sample data here. And what's cool about this is we'll show you how this works. So when you start plugging in your search volume and cost per click numbers, it's going to run some forecasts. And these are the variables you could change. What you think your click-through rate is going to be, what you think your conversion rate, low and high, is going to be. So conversion rate would be the percentage of people that go to your website and book a unit. And then approximately how many clicks, how much you could spend if you were to run ads, and then how many conversions or booked units you could expect, and then what the cost per that booked unit is going to be. So it's a nice way to just forecast out if you're going to run ads. For SEO, not as important, but you could start to see like how much ad spend you could be getting for free. So like in this case, if these numbers were real, I could potentially be getting $7,000 a month in ad spend if I'm able to target these organically, and I don't have to allocate that money or spend that money on ads. So this tool will get you very far in terms of keywords. And the only other thing to think about would be looking into more feature-based keywords based on your area. But this is really going to cover your core keywords. Now, the order of this, you could also reverse the order and put the city first. So Austin, Texas storage, Austin, Texas storage unit. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter much the way you target and optimize your page. But if you want to check the search volume of those, you could simply just reverse the order of the words and plug those in as well. And yeah, so that's going to be the main tool and main initial method. Once you have all these keywords, I like to kind of organize them in a Google Sheet like this with all the metrics, so you can start playing around with the data here. Then we're going to look at how you actually optimize for these keywords and how you improve your rankings. Now, in Google Ads, you cannot see your organic rankings. So if you wanted to check your organic rankings for these keywords, you can go into your Search Console account here. And I'll just show one example. I'm going to do it for one of the keywords I'm actually showing up for. So let's do it for this one. But you would paste in your SEO keywords, your for storage, your city-based. So you're going to click New, and then Query, and paste in your keyword that you want to see. And this is going to show you, and again, there's two different ones here. So I'm going to click on this one. This one's going to show you a chart with a bunch of data. So what I like to do is get rid of clicks, impressions, and CTR, and just look at average position, which is where you rank on Google. And I could start to see that this has been trending up. You can see I'm now in position 1, but this is how you can benchmark where you're currently ranking if you don't have access to any paid tools. If we do this keyword, this is going to show us same thing. So I could see I was fluctuating on the bottom of the first page, anywhere as high as 6, as low as 10. Then I had a really big increase here and actually moved up to around position 1 on average. So that's how you can use this. And sometimes what you can do here as well is you can add a column for current position, which would be where you're ranking, and you could fill that in manually. So if you know where you're ranking from Search Console, you could start filling in that data so you could see where you're currently at and where you should focus. If you have access to a paid tool, it's a little bit easier to get your organic rankings. So in SEMrush or Google Keyword Planner, or Ahrefs, we'll show an example with this website here. So in SEMrush, this is a paid tool that has a lot of good data. You can plug in any website, so you can actually look at your competitors, and it'll give you a bunch of information on how they're doing on SEO. What I really like to do is click on this number here, the organic search traffic, and then this is going to show me all of the keywords this website is ranking for, and actually the position where they're ranking. So I can see for this, they're in position 1. And this one, it looks like they're in the map listings. Then for this keyword here, they're in position 3. So you could do this for your own website to understand where you're ranking. Just the problem is that it is a paid tool. So the way to get around that is to use this platform called AppSumo. Every month, this website has new software that's available for lifetime access. So because these SEO tools like SEMrush and this other tool, Ahrefs, are expensive, they're going to be over $100 per month, and you're probably not going to get the maximum value out of it if you're just doing this for your own website. Buying a keyword research tool off of AppSumo is a really good option. So if you just search keyword research, it'll show you some of the tools that are relevant, and every month it'll be a little bit different. But we could start to look and see, like, let's see this one here. So this one looks like it might be more focused on Amazon, but basically you can skim through and see what this offers. Yeah, so this is more for e-commerce. So let's see if we have another one here. Research unlimited keywords and generate SEO. Let's check that one out. Keyword catcher, let's see. And then keyword caddy. Let's take a look at these. So basically what you would do, research and find profitable keywords, is look through these different tools and see which one is going to give you keyword research, which looks like this one does. And then basically you could pay one time $59 and it'll show you what you're getting. And you never have to pay again. So this is a really good option for adding a paid keyword tool. You could also just type in SEO and it'll be a little more broad, but it'll give you some other good SEO tools. So this one I know is good for helping with outlines for content. But yeah, you can skim through and there's always going to be SEO and keyword tools available on this platform. And you just pay once and then you get access to a paid tool instead of paying a monthly subscription. So if we go back to the list here, so we have our keyword research tools. So as far as specific keyword research techniques, I think the main things to look for, and we've categorized the keywords here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So there's typically going to be a few core near me keywords. Then there's going to be city-based keywords and county-based and state-based. So really based on your market, where you're just going to plug in your city name. Then there's going to be users that just search like this, like storage unit or self-storage, and they don't type in the city. But Google will know where they're located. And if you're close by and have an optimized page for that city, you'll have potential to rank. Then you're going to have all your featured base. There's typically going to be a few price-based keywords like self-storage rates, self-storage pricing. Cheap is a common modifier. You may or may not want to target that depending on the type of customer you're looking for. Best is another one. People wanting the best, and your reviews are going to be really important for that. And then these question-based ones, these are going to be typically things you can cover in blog content, but you could also target these on your location page. At the very bottom of your location page, you could put a frequently asked questions section, and you just answer a few of these common questions on that page. And that can help you actually rank in the search results for these questions. So the main thing with keyword research is actually doing it and playing around with these tools and getting familiar with how they work. So it's great if you can analyze your own market, maybe look at some other markets, surrounding markets, and just start getting used to using Keyword Planner and some of these various tools. Now you can also use the search results directly as a keyword tool. It's not going to give you metrics, but when you start typing in keywords, you'll see Google tries to complete your search with autocomplete. So you could do something like this where you start typing in storage units in, and you can start to see what cities Google thinks I might be interested in. You could even type a letter. And then if you do type a letter, it'll show you all the keywords here that have an A. I could do the next thing with the next letter. So this could be a nice way to generate keyword ideas. You could just do storage in, and again, same thing. I could start typing in letters to see common cities. You can also scroll down to the bottom of the search results here. And what we'll see is these related searches. So you'll see Google is also giving you some keyword ideas that you can research right here. And you could plug some of these keywords into your keyword tool. I prefer to start with my list here, but if you did want to just experiment more and try and find your own keywords, if we go back to Keyword Planner, discover new keywords, and if we just type in the word storage, I think the broader you get with this tool, the better the results be, because Google is going to give you more options, and you can start to see specific words that are highly searched based on what you type in here. So if we scroll down again, you'll start to see some of those feature-based. Pod storage is one we didn't look like. If that's something you offer, you could see that's a search term. Actually, size-based, which is another good feature-based. Sometimes people actually type in small, medium, or large. And then what you can do is you can say this keyword, you can create a plan, but what we're going to do is we're going to validate this small keyword, small storage unit. Let's see if there's any other ones. Trailer storage is another one. If you offer that. Now we're going to go back to get search volume and forecast. And we're going to put in these two words. And we're going to check the search demand in our market here. So now we can see, yes, this is something that's highly searched in the Austin market. So it's a nice way to go back and forth between both of those tools, your keyword ideas, and then your saved keywords where you can actually see the metrics. And again, I could change the market here if I want to look at a different market. Let's look at Dallas, Texas. I'm going to save that. And you'll see now my metrics have changed. The search volume is a little bit different, these trends, and the cost per click metrics have changed. So that's really all you're going to need to do to get your keyword data, which is step one. On the next lesson, we're going to get into how you actually take these keywords and optimize your content. And I'll give you a quick sneak preview here. The key is going to be typically your location pages. And then we're going to give away an on-page optimization checklist in the next lesson. That's going to show you exactly all the different elements you need to change to optimize your page well for SEO. So as far as action items based on this first class, so the main things you're going to need to do are start researching keywords and using some of these free tools. You can consider buying a paid keyword tool off AppSumo, but I would wait until you've used these free tools for a little while, and then you could explore paid options. I think the free tool from Keyword Planner is going to get you about 90-95% of the way there. Then what you're going to do is try and check your existing keyword rankings. So you can do that in a tool like Google Search Console. You need to verify your account first. You can also do that in paid tools. So again, if you have access to some of these paid tools, you could put your website in or a competitor and just get a feel for where you rank. The very low budget way and the quick way is to just type in your keyword and just manually check where you rank. And you could do a few variations and just start scrolling down and count. You could see, are you in the top 3? If you're not, click on more places and then scroll down until you find your brand, and you could count how far down you are. And then do the same thing for the organic results. Go down this list and count the listings until you find yourself. And then you can manually record your ranking in this sheet, which is going to be really beneficial because you're going to know all the keywords that are available, what gets searched most often, what are the most expensive keywords, and then where you currently stand. And then based on once you have this filled in, then we're going to be able to use that data to make the adjustments and make the changes to actually improve your rankings. And the nice thing about this template is you're going to know that if it works or not, because we know where you're currently ranking on Google. So we'll be able to track the changes over time. So that's it for now. Implement the spreadsheet here, download it, use it, start researching keywords, get familiar with the tools. And then once you're done with that, then we're going to be ready to move on to on-page optimization.